Hello and welcome to today's League of Legends Roundup, where we're going to go over a little bit about the channel. First, cover the first playoff matchup of the four major regions between OMG and FPX, and then give you a sneak peek of what's to come tomorrow in the LPL and LCK. In the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. If you want to watch the games with us, there is a watch party channel. There are people that would like to do watch parties, so if you do want to do that and you join the Discord, if you go under the rules and roles channel, you will find a little microphone to be notified when people want to do them. As long as a mod is in there, I don't care. You can do it. Also, in the description, you'll find a Patreon link that is to my predictions for people that do esports betting or gambling for $20 a month. If you want to just throw me $5, there's a tier for that, just for the sake of throwing me $5 for trying to keep this channel alive as it grows. Otherwise, this channel does have a shelf life then. Now, more channel news. For the next 3 days, including today, there's going to be 3 videos a day, which is kind of like how I used to do it. And we backed off of that because it was like too much content. But the issue I have run into is there is too much content that needs to be done. So today I've got this video. I do intend on doing a 12-15 video. I did not expect a region to go to playoffs with a brand new patch, but they did. LPL is going to 12-15. I don't know if that means everybody else is going to go to 12-15 or not. So the 12-14 video is probably going to be delayed till next week. But the 12-15 video has to get done today because the LPL started today on 12-15. And I'm going to do my LCK wrap-up like I did the LPL yesterday. That, if you missed it, I went over all the teams that missed the playoffs for a minute or two. And then gave you my all-pro teams, my all-rookie team. And I also gave what I think how I think the playoffs will turn out. We'll do that in the LCK. Probably not do an all-rookie team because there's not enough rookies. I really only think Vikla and Cal are the only 2 rookies that really come to mind right now. So that probably won't happen. Cal would be Rookie of the Year. Spoiler alert, I guess. Tomorrow, Roundup, LEC, and I have changed my mind about how I want to do the power rankings. I was going to do a separate video, but clearly, as you see here, I can't do a separate video because then the channel will be overloaded and flooded. So what I'm going to do is this, because the minor regions, so Japan and Vietnam are still playing. So what I'm going to do is going to continue the minor region power rankings this week and possibly next week and just do that. And we'll just cover the Japanese and Vietnamese teams that played, and in addition to whoever else played this past week in TCL, I believe still is playing. And I think that might have been it. I think the PCS, Brazil, and Latin America are all in playoffs already. LCO as well. Started yesterday. And tomorrow I'll do the LEC video. Next day, Roundup LCS wrap up, and then as well the power rankings, which will be adjusted. It will be only teams that are still playoff, worlds eligible. They're in the playoffs or whatever. And it will be including, I will be eliminating the minor region teams that are in playoffs and inserting their playoff stats into that instead of their regular season stats, which is what's going to be flipped and changed over for all teams by next week. So that's kind of how I'm going to do that, if it kind of makes sense. It'll be a mix of both. So that's kind of the next few days. So if you think that you're going to miss a video, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and you will hopefully know when I upload content. As well, if you're on the Discord, I do post the links to every video in the new uploads channel. So if you're on the Discord, you will also be notified that way. OMG and FPX. So I had predicted 3-2. It ended up being 3-2. It did not go the way I had expected it to exactly. A very, very interesting series. A lot to be happy about, honestly, for both teams. As far as my over-unders, I went 1-2, and we're going to get into that as well. So, LWX 25-16-39, team leading 36% of damage for FPX. Care 24-12 and 34 in mid. And then Abel, 25, 15, and 21. So what do we feel about this? Well, OMG got out to a 2-1 series lead. Shanji dominating Summit in top lane, actually throughout Game 4 as well. Games 2, 3, and 4, Shanji definitely got the better of Summit. Clid looked lackluster. But the thing was, OMG, especially in Game 4, all split long, if Aki started getting kills and started trying to carry the game, they tended to actually lose. And that ended up biting them in the ass. It happened. And that's that I was watching. I'm like, oh, geez, even though he's on a Wukong, this doesn't work. And FPX were kind of allowing OMG to get away with things. Abel picking Samira and Tristana. Tristana in Game 1 losing. Samira in Game 3 doing very well. And instead of banning the Samira, they banned a Poppy, which in my opinion, Aki is not that good on the facilitators, the tankier junglers, the non-carry oriented junglers. And I've been saying this actually since spring about Aki. I said it during the in between the splits about OMG. I was like, this is what's holding them back a bit, is Aki not playing, the champions that are in the meta. He's got to play, only some of them. And, well, it happened. Shanji playing very well, though. Cream had the slight edge on Care for the first couple games, but actually what decided the series was Game 4 and Game 5. Care went off. He arrived. We'll see how he does against EDG. Hopefully this wasn't a one-off for him, but he arrived in a big way. Yone in Game 4 with his back against the wall, dominant, carried the team, and in Game 5 did a great job on Akali, absolutely beating the crap out of Cream in terms of just outplaying him in affecting the game. Honestly, Care was the difference for FPX in Games 4 and Game 5. He brought them from the brink. Clid really was not good all 5 games. LWX, kind of just was there, and that happened during summer. When they played in summer, the bot lane only had 5 kills total in a 3-game series. Now, it was a very different series because Game 2, there was 47 kills? 47 kills in Game 2 in total, and in the 3 games that they played in spring, there were only 59 across 3 games. Like, it was very different. Now, when I look at Abel, now with my over-unders, so I had LWX over, which I got. I had the Aki under, which I didn't get. But I had the Abel under as well because, if you looked back at it, his last several series, his 3-game series, he could not string together 3 good games to get to over 14 kills. And the prop was 13.5. Now, he has 25 here over 5 games. He had 15 in Game 2. Yeah, he had 15 in Game 2 on Aphelios. That's why they won Game 2, OMG. Shanji was very impactful, don't get me wrong. But Abel had 15 in Game 2, so 10 in the other 4 games. So I feel vindicated that, I was right. He can string together 3 good games, but he still had 15 in 1 game. What are you going to do? That's why they call it gambling, right? When you make calls like that, but that was the thing, though. I thought the bot lane for FPX would get the edge, and it did, because outside of that 1 game, really, FPX got the better of OMG's bot lane 4 out of 5 games. So we'll see how FPX does against EDG in a couple days. Obviously, that'll be a sneak peek for tomorrow's video. But now, sneak peek for tomorrow. LNG and BLG, LNG 8 and 8, BLG 7 and 9. They played week 1, day 3 this split. So long time ago, very different game then. LNG won 2-1. Doinb 10, 4 and 14. Doinb and Lamau versus Icon and Crisp is what I want to watch. And you're going to be like, why do you have 2 players there? Well, it's the playoffs. I feel, why not? But at the same time, Doinb was against Fofo at the time. Icon had not been signed by BLG and playing for them yet. So it was a different vibe to BLG, which BLG has looked better over the last couple series. I think that has a lot to do with their benching of players and maybe their players trying to prove themselves. Weiwei, there were, rumors that Weiwei went off in a game or whatever, in comms. And Crisp versus Lamau, Lamau was not playing at that time. Iwandi had played in that series. I imagine Lamau is going to play in this one, and that'll be a different vibe as well to the bot lane. I think, Lamau is definitely more prepared for a moment like this in the playoffs than Iwandi, and it'll set up for a good matchup between Light and Lamau versus Doggo and Crisp. I think Crisp is the better support, and Light is the better AD carry right now. So we'll see what happens. I expect this one probably to go to 4 or 5 games as well. Two closely matched teams. LNG probably, it depends what version of LNG shows up. LNG obviously a very good team on paper. Ale now back in the lineup. That's a big deal if he can stay in the lineup. If they play Panda C, this is a BLG 3-0. And hopefully they can see that. And because Bin is in top lane, and Bin will do terrible, illegal things to Panda C in top lane if that happens. Sandbox and DRX. Sandbox 8th in the power rankings. 3rd seed, 13 and 5. DRX 9 and 9. They played twice in summer, as is the case with the LCK double round robin. First time week 3, day 1. Sandbox would win 2-1. Prince going 22-5 and 7, leading the way. And then the next time around was actually week 7, day 4. Sandbox winning 2-1 again. Prince 25-7 and 16. So Prince versus Deft is what I want to watch. Deft has to figure out a way to keep Prince under control, and more so Beryl. Beryl, it may be an inter, but he's a very good support when he's on. And there is an opportunity, I believe, for the the DRX bot lane to take advantage of the young Sandbox bot lane. That's the matchup that I think actually is going to make or break this series. Dove and Kingen, both in top lane, are kind of whatever. I think Pioshik is actually better than Krako. But at the same time, I don't know if this meta is really going to allow Pioshik to take advantage of Krako. In mid, Closer is a little bit better than Zika, but not all that much better. And then in bot lane, Prince has been much better than Deft over the entire split, but this is a big moment. This is when, veterans come out and perform in a big way. I hope that Deft can, at least if this is his last series, go out, with a fight and not with a whimper. So we'll see how that goes. My predictions will be on the Patreon. So if you like this video, like it. Like I said, when it all started, I have a few videos going out over the next few days. So if you hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, go to the Discord, you will know when I'm uploading videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more content.